Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I have three different things that are kind of unrelated that I want to talk to you guys about. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is just a hilarious one-shot of Corvus. This is stage 25 that I'm able to literally one-shot for each of the different stages, and this is a pretty good example of the kind of burst damage that we're talking about when we're talking about Gambit. Oh, we did not make it all. There we go. Almost a one-shot. So that's like a one-shot and a half. If I get him to level 70, if I get some of his gears up, we can definitely do a one-shot of stage 25. But that's pretty fast. That's probably faster than some of you guys clear stage 1. Pretty hilarious. And I love Gambit. So more Gambit content I kind of promised you guys. Also, we're doing something kind of catchy at the beginning. Ali A intro, so that you motherfuckers will pay attention to the video. The second thing I want to talk about is the event mission. There's not a lot of days left. Hopefully you've been collecting all the tokens. I have 350. I only have 50 more to go. And as far as the rewards go, we'll talk about those packs in a minute. But as far as the rewards go, we've kind of discussed this before. The Tier 2 advancement ticket is probably your best bet, the most consistent piece of value. The 6-star ticket is also very valuable if you're like me and you have 2, 3, 4, and 5-star rank up tickets. So as you can see, the only piece of the puzzle that I'm missing is the 6. So if I get the 6, it's worth a mega tier 2 or a mega rank up ticket. Alternatively, you could go for the XGene for Nightcrawler, although I've kind of described that he isn't that great, but it is some way to get him if you're free to play, and you can only get a few bios of him through the shield lab processor thing. And then also the uniform upgrade kits are also a pretty good bet. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, stinginess, Netmarble decided to change how we purchase the Phoenix Feathers. So instead of being able to buy them once each time for, let's say, 20 tokens, and have us get the same amount, 400, they've now made it a larger purchase that gives you more feathers, but that gives you a less divisible number of tokens. So in these types of events, you want to see many different values, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, in terms of how many tokens things cost. If too many things cost large amounts of tokens, you can't mix and match. And so that makes the overall value of some of these things worse. And so by doing this, 200 feathers for 150, because you get 400 tokens, it's really awkward. When you purchase it twice, yeah, you'll get 400 tokens, 400 feathers, but then you're left with 100 tokens, which means that you get, what, 150 upgrade kits, and then you're forced to use your last 10 tokens on something awkward like 100 energy. Now, 100 energy is not bad. It's just kind of unfortunate that they've changed this around. It's really not to anyone's benefit, and if anything, it's to the detriment of the players. So I kind of just wanted to point that out for you guys. Next up is the store offers going on that are on sale for real money and for crystals. I know some of you guys who are purchasing things or looking to purchase are curious what my thoughts are, and there are a couple of new packs or semi-new packs in the shop, so I wanted to cover their value or their worth in my eyes. Now, of course, before we get down to it, your native currency will definitely impact how much you can spend. If you have a job or not, that's going to impact how much you can spend, of course. And I understand that some of these prices, while they seem normal to me, are completely absurd to you. I understand that, but for those of you that, you know, can spend and want to spend, this is basically for you. So I think the relay pack, this special relay pack, is actually pretty good. The first two are decent because they give you a decent return on crystals and they give you a large amount of gold. You get 2 million and then 5 million, so it's a total of 7. And the XGene selector you can use on Nightcrawler. But I think the best one is actually either the third one or the fourth one. The third one for $40, which is an often priced amount of crystals, either the offer for Agents 2 or the Halloween pack that I'm going to talk about. It gives you a competitive number of crystals in this case, 150 selectors to use on Nightcrawler, 300 feathers, 200 crystals, boost points, and 13 million gold. So this is probably the best pack in the shop, and I wish I could buy this more than once because I do think it's really competitive in terms of other things in the shop and their prices. The fourth one, although we're getting pretty expensive now, $70, again, does give you a decent number of things. The crystals could be higher. I wish it was like 59 or 6,000 crystals, but it gives you a mega rank up ticket and 20 million gold, which is nothing to balk at. Pretty decent rewards. The mega rank up ticket's worth about 2,000 crystals, so you are getting close to 8,000 or 8,500 worth of crystals for that amount, which does make this, again, one of the better packs in the shop, and it's got a good kind of mixture of items. And then the fifth one, although it's outrageously expensive, it is very competitive for crystals. It gives you a Mega Tier 2, 300 boost points, and then the big one at the bottom there, 60 million gold. For those of you who just started playing a couple months ago or weeks ago, you want to be whales, you want to really catch up to people who have been playing for years, honestly, this is how you do it. I'm not saying you should get it. I'm not recommending you should splash, but I'm saying that is how you do it. That's the most effective way to do it, essentially. The second thing I want to talk about is not this pack, but there was another pack here, 12 hours ago, this boost pack. That thing was complete garbage. It was 750 crystals for 750 boost points and like a million gold or 100 energy or something like that. It was complete trash. But what's worse is they replaced an old sale that was 5 6-star obelisks for 1,000 crystals. I want to know where that sale went because I want that sale to come back. I have a lot of extreme obelisks that I want to re-roll or to try to get good stats on for characters like Psylocke who still have bad obelisks, and I was willing to pay 4,000 crystals to get 20 of those obelisks, and they're gone, and that sale is just gone. So I don't know what gives Netmarble, but for those of you that missed that one, I'm upset too. Lastly, for the featured shop items, we have the Halloween pack 1 and 2. I think these are decent. I think this one is more decent than this one, but it all boils down to the Halloween tokens. Do you have things that you want to buy? Do you want to get the tier 2 ticket and the 6-star ticket like me? Do you want to get the tier 2 ticket and Nightcrawler BIOS, etc.? That really is going to dictate whether the extra 350 tokens are worthwhile to you or not. If you're not really that jazzed about the event shop, this is a bad deal for you. That's kind of the way that I can explain it quickly and kind of have it make sense. The last thing I want to touch on is a question that I'm getting a lot on Twitch, but I'm also getting a lot of it on YouTube, so I'm guessing it's something that a lot of people want to talk about, and it mainly revolves around the newest Tier 3 character, Magneto, but it also gets repeated a lot about Spider-Man, and it is, Cynicalex, are you going to Tier 3 insert character's name? And the answer, 90% of the time, 99% of the time when you're asking is no. I'm not going to Tier 3 Peter Parker. It's just not going to happen. If I was going to Tier 3 Spider-Man, it would have happened by now. I have the materials. I've had the materials. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. The reason why I'm not Tier 3ing these characters is because I've reached the point of I don't need these Tier 3 characters for any specific game mode. I don't like any of them enough the way that I like Ant-Man. Ant-Man was my fun Tier 3, and I'm probably only going to allow myself one other fun Tier 3. And from this point on, I'm just being efficient. If the Tier 3 is not going to give me a character that is competitive, I'm talking top 10 competitive for PvE content, because I don't really care about PvP. If that's not going to be the case, then I'm not going to pick up the character. Because it's way too much of an investment, and I'm not purchasing CCF for real money in the store because I'm using my investments on other things like obelisks and CTPs and kind of like fun stuff and uniforms, not on Tier 3s because it's not as interesting and you don't get to play the character as often, and so I'm hoarding. I'm basically just building up my materials. I've got almost 6,000 of each of these. I've got enough to Tier 3 another Deadpool, and I've been stacked, no thanks, but thank you. I've been stacked on books for months now, but that is basically the reason why I'm not going to be getting Magneto Tier 3, I'm not going to be getting Spider-Man Tier 3, definitely not going to be getting Iron Man Tier 3, not going to be getting Black Panther Tier 3. I don't love the character enough, i.e. Ant-Man, and it's just not, it's not the efficient choice for me. It's not the min-max choice for me, and it just doesn't make sense. Now, I am extremely tempted to Tier 3 Magneto because Magnetic Mayhem is a beautiful looking skill, and I want to make a video about these kinds of skills in Giant Boss Raid because it looks amazing zoomed out. So that alone is tempting me to get him, and the fact that he is good against Giant Boss is tempting me. The only thing I will say is that if Netmarble improves, vastly improves, the rewards of Giant Boss Raid, let's say they start adding CTPs of energy, let's say they start adding CCF and Tier 3 materials or other valuable materials. If they improve this pool and if they improve the drop rate of these items to the point where Giant Boss Raid becomes a more profitable game mode, then I would probably Tier 3 Magneto to get an extra clear per day of it, so I could guarantee more resources. But right now, Giant Boss is kind of a for fun game mode. You get some resources from time to time, but it's not something that is compelling enough to tier 3 a character on the basis of. And I don't really need any help from Magneto in World Boss, because I've got that covered, so that kind of leaves him empty-handed. So I hope that clears up the question of whether I'm going to tier 3 your favorite character or not. Hopefully all that other stuff was interesting and entertaining to you guys and you're still here watching. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to support me. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.